Hello, welcome to Energy Meditation for Women's Health. If you're going about your day, I invite you to take a breath with me into the heart, fill it up with positive energy, and exhale, let it go. Give yourself permission to settle into this present moment, the only moment there is. Today's talk is about practices for women. Women experience a multitude of cycles in their life from our menses to perimenopause to menopause. We give birth to life. We move with the cycles of nature, with the moon, and our hormones change every day. So, contrast this to men who have one primary steady hormone that they can tap into, and noting that many of our meditation practices are authored by men from a masculine perspective, women's health really isn't taken into full consideration when it comes to our ancient traditional practices. In some of these traditions, women were not even allowed to practice meditation because they were expected to be caretakers and childbearers. This is why it's instrumental for women to tune in and listen to their own body, their own wisdom for what's really needed. And that masculine approach of kind of rigidity and sitting still in one pose for hours at a time, almost forcing yourself not to move with more of a disciplined, rigorous mental effort type of approach. Um, isn't really the way of the feminine. The feminine is dynamic, it's creative, it's flow, it's grace, tapping into singing and dancing and that art of flow. And that void, the nothingness, the yin soft energy is what's truly needed in our practices for meditation and mindfulness today. And for women to tune into this is for women to tune into their power, knowing that we move in a cycle. Our energy is more circular in nature. We're rounded. We have a womb. Um, and we give birth to life. And that's different from that linear energy of the masculine, right? Which is one size fits all. Here's your mantra for the rest of your life. It's given externally, it's about sticking to an external form. So, learning how to flow with your energy, tapping into your energy is so important. And I have to say that as I'm experiencing my menses, as I go through perimenopause, the last thing that feels really good for my body is sitting in a rigid lotus pose. What feels really great is energy flow, energy healing, nurturing, softness, and restoration. And this includes restorative poses, poses that open the heart, where you can lay back and allow the heart to be open. You know, so many of us go through the day and we're kind of hunched over our tech devices. And we also kind of go into this protective mode, right? Of just survival. So being able to open our heart to move in any direction doesn't have to be a linear type of movement, but any direction is tapping into that flow, the energy, and allowing our natural healing energy when we tap into the relaxation response, which is the parasympathetic nervous system. That's what's really bringing our system into balance. So it's not so much about how long do I sit in this pose uh, and sticking so hard to the form, but about access to this infinite divine energy intelligence, access and connection and continuity with this energy That is the purpose of our practice. It's not about sitting for long periods of time, having to prove that I've done this one thing, but having this access to ourselves, our true inner self. So, having, that ability to rest, be in restorative poses with props such as yoga bolsters, even blankets, covering ourselves, cocooning ourselves so that we feel safe and we feel warm and held is very healing and supportive to our physical body. Working with things like water, being in a warm bath where we can meditate and really care for our body. So, moving from that energy of kind of like making ourselves meditate and sit and forcing, and more going into that nurturing space, a lot of self care, almost like being in your own personal spa and really learning how to give ourselves that love and energy so that we can really open up and fall into balance. It's not a forcefulness into that place, but a real softness and containment and nurturing to allow us to be there. So, this might be movement, and it's okay to have your meditation be a movement. It can be Tai Chi or Qigong. Something I love to do as an energy reset is just bringing my arms up, breathing in and exhaling, allowing the energy to come into the center and grounding it to the earth. So just breathing in and exhaling, allowing it to come into center. And it's not about memorizing these movements. All of these movements that come from Tai Chi and Qigong, they were just channeled. They were people that said, just move like this and flow like that. And so you can move and flow in any direction. There's no prescription to what you need to do. And then if you want, you can tap into the chakras of your hands, which are energy centers, and you can cleanse and clear your energy field. So just kind of letting go consciously of anything you might have picked up and cleansing and clearing your field and just noticing where I have stuck energy around me and my body. And you can kind of feel like a certain density or quality of energy that you're moving through, and give yourself a few minutes just to sweep around your energy. And this is a really wonderful way to reset and rebalance yourself. And then the other thing that you can do is bring your hands to your heart and your lower belly, and like a battery, reconnect to yourself. So, any position where you're just kind of like laying back, resting, placing hands on a part of your body, whether it's your heart or your lower belly. And I love to put hands over lower belly during times of menses, PMS, any kind of struggle with perimenopause. This is one of the most nurturing things that you can do. And you just imagine that energy flow. You tap into it from your hands. And after some time, what you're going to feel is like a gentle pulse, a kind of energetic vibration that comes in. It's really gentle and it kind of opens things up. It allows things to expand and breathe. And you'll start to feel this beautiful energy flow that we can all tap into through these healing practices that allow for that sensation of deep bliss. It's pleasurable, it feels really good, and it's naturally healing. And we all have access to this healing energy. So, for women, it's really important that you listen to your body, pay attention to what feels good for your body. You can let go of all the yoga stuff or anything that's hard. Give yourself permission to just open up to other possibilities of how you can find balance and self care for yourself. And notice when you feel like, oh, I have to sit a certain way, I have to do it this way. And if I don't do it this way, I feel bad about myself because that's the way I'm supposed to do it, versus really listening inwardly to what feels really right, what feels good, what feels supportive in this moment, and being willing to improvise, to be creative. It's meditation isn't about taking that form and being really good at just sitting still for hours every day. It's about what you do with your practice. How are you living in the moment for real? Are you just following something in your mind, or are you following and listening to your heart, to something that's really coming from deep down within you that feels authentic and true for you in this beautiful moment? Sending you lots of love, and I'd love to hear your comments about what feels awesome for your body. What do you do to take care of yourself when you're on your menses, when you're PMSing, during perimenopause or menopause? What spiritual practices have really supported you? And if you'd like more support, always remember to come back to the Sura Flow app. Lots of love.